welcome to No Recipe Required. I'm Dave, and tonight I'm going to do a spin on roast chicken for you. This is what I like to call my Tuscan chicken. It's flavored with rosemary, lemon. The twist on it is I'm going to show you how to butterfly the chicken, which is essentially taking the backbone out of the chicken so it opens up like a book. The advantage is it cooks super fast this way, and then obviously it absolutely tastes delicious. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and start making our Tuscan chicken. Now what I'm going to do is actually I want to show you how to butterfly the chicken, because you don't have to do any recipe, frankly, with a butterfly chicken. You can always roast it whole, but butterflying gives a different presentation. They cook a little faster, and it can be a little bit easier. So the implements that you're going to want to need, essentially you're going to flip the chicken over. This is the backbone, right? Breast side, backbone. The implements, kind of use your biggest, heaviest knife, and you may have to resort to a pair of kitchen shears. And essentially I just kind of go right through the rib cage there, and you do kind of have to give it a few whacks to get through there. You know, the spine, like I said, kind of runs right down the edge, and if you kind of dig down with that knife, you'll break through that rib cage. You want to do it on both sides, and it's pretty low chance you're actually going to go all the way through the bird if you cut like that. Eventually though, that's exactly what you're looking to do. You want to get down there as well, down here as well, and you know, if you got any little snippets, this is kind of where the shears come into play. And eventually you just want to rip that back right out. This is great for soup stock if you want to do that. Oops. And then once you've got that backbone out, your bird just kind of opens up nice and neat like that. If you need to, you can come back and kind of trim some of these extra little rib pieces if they're sticking out and you want to, but really you don't have to. Okay, so we've got our chicken butterfly for our roasted Tuscan chicken. Now you don't have to use a butterfly chicken. You can do this with a whole chicken, but I think the butterfly makes it look kind of cool. I'm going to take it seasoned both sides with salt and pepper, put it in my pan. Now as you can see, my pan is almost too small, maybe too small. I'm sure I'll get some people saying definitely too small. You don't want to crush it up too much. This is actually perfect for the grill. I'm actually going to maybe pull my chicken legs out a little bit because the ends will roast just fine with the air. This is perfect to grill, but it's dark outside, so and I want to show you what I'm doing. So we're going to do it inside. You can absolutely do it this way. You got a bigger roasting pan, that's great, no problem. Skin side down, gonna let it go for about 6-7 minutes, get it nice and crispy and browned on that side. Then we're gonna flip it over, put it into a 390-degree oven. Okay, after 6 or 7 minutes, we're gonna test our chicken just by kind of lifting it up, and it should come pretty easily. I got a couple pieces that are kind of sticking, but it's not really too bad, and those pieces are kind of up around the edge. So just go around, loosen them up a little bit. If the entire thing is sticking, then chances are it hasn't cooked enough and hasn't browned, because it needs to really get down to that nice golden brown stage before it releases from the bottom of the pan. So that's the first thing to do if it ever sticks for you, is just wait. Turn the heat down, let it go for another 5 or 6 minutes, and if it gets nice and brown like that, you'll be good to go. To our chicken now. As we can put it in the oven, I'm going to take a few sprigs of rosemary, and this is going to give it that flavor, that Tuscan beautiful flavor. I'm just going to lay them kind of out and about, and then I'm going to throw a lemon that I've cut up into quarters in and around there as well. I want to kind of tuck it down so it doesn't sit on that nice crispy skin that we just made, because if you get water or lemon juice in this case on that skin, it's going to kind of steam, make it not so crisp. So let's stick this in the oven. Probably going to take about 45 minutes or so because it's butterflied. You want to bring the internal temperature of the thigh meat or the thickest part of the breast to about 160. Okay, so I just pulled our Tuscan chicken out of the oven. I was using a meat thermometer. I let it get up to like 150 or so, or 155. Carryover temperature is going to bring it to 160, and that is going to be absolutely perfect. If you want to crisp up the skin a little bit more, you can throw it under the super hot broiler for just 3 or 4 minutes. That'll help brown the skin if it didn't quite get to where you want. Lift it up gingerly, and you're done. Let's go ahead and make a sauce. Okay, so I just pulled my chicken out of the pan, and you can see the enormous amount of juice in there and rendered fat. So what I'm going to do is just strain off the fat. If you got one of those tools, that's great. You can also use a spoon to kind of ladle it off. And then I'm going to put the juice back in here, come back, and we'll make our sauce. Okay, so if you like a really, really lemony sauce, you can absolutely leave your lemons in there. But I actually prefer to pull them out and serve them with the sauce. Same little bits of chicken like that, I actually like to keep in, because that's nice flavor. Same thing with the rosemary. I'll leave a couple sprigs in there, but mostly I'll pull them out, just because I think the sauce can get a little overpowering if it's all left in there. I'm going to turn the heat back on good and high. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of white wine to the pan. I'm going to scrape up any of those drippings that are on there. If you got little bits of chicken on the side like that, just get them wet, and then they'll eventually kind of scrape right off. And I'm going to let this reduce down to where the wine is reduced by half. Then we're going to come back, add our juice back, add a little extra chicken stock. Okay, once our wine is reduced down, we're going to add back that juice from the chicken, and if that ever feels like it's not quite enough for you, you can always add a little bit more chicken stock. I'm just going to let this reduce down now, again, by half. Okay, our sauce now is well reduced. I'm just going to finish it with a tab of butter, maybe about a tablespoon, and about a half a teaspoon of fresh chopped parsley. I'm going to pull out the big piece of parsley that's kind of given its love, done with. And the color, after it's been cooked so long, gets a little dull and drab. This is what I'm looking for our sauce. Give it a little taste. Nice and tangy. Got some rosemary, obviously. Hit it with a little bit of pepper, and we're good to go. Let's go ahead and plate up our chicken. Okay, so we've got our chicken here. Legs and thighs are nice and easy to take off when we butterfly like this. Let me set him aside. And then even the breast is going to be nice and easy, because we took out that rib cage. So you can essentially just go kind of right down the middle. And there you've got a whole breast. You can serve it with the wing. I like to eat the wing. Throw him on the plate there. It's kind of the man-sized portion. I'm going to serve mine along with a little bit of wild rice. And how about fresh ear corn, because it's just turning summer. Our sauce. Can't forget the sauce. Lemon, rosemary, just kind of right over top. And you got a perfect little Tuscan chicken. I'll see you next time on No Recipe Required.